Welcome back to Mustache Moto. It's Ben, and today I'm going to talk about the 3-camera setup I used for my summer road trip. Let's start off with right here my Insta360 X5, which is a 360-degree camera. So that records everything, and then I can reframe it however I want. The cool thing about that is I can reframe it looking at me, or I can reframe it looking ahead, or both. And then I have a lot of different angles or different possibilities on how I use those. Now the way I use this camera, it's on a little arm that attaches to the mirror here. Here's the ball that you actually unscrew the mirror and screw that back down. It's got the ball on the end. And as you can see, it's on an arm that locks down. Now, I'm not going to link this exact one because I'm not really happy with it, because even cranked down, it still moves. And on the highway, it would move some. So I've got a much more robust one on the way. And that's the one that I'll link in the description below. And the way I used it was wired in, so it's got a USB constant power, because I ran it continuously on my trip. What I did was I set it to a 3-minute loop. What that does is it records, it's running all the time, I should say, but it doesn't save the file unless I hit the button. And then when I hit the button, it saves the last 3 minutes. So when something unexpected happens, if my other cameras weren't running, like when I fell off the bike on the gravel road, that thing was going, so all I had to do was hit the button, and I knew I had something to cover me, even though these cameras weren't going. So that's kind of something I used as a backup, but it worked really well. There were some times where I just put it on, regular mode and just recorded continuously, like when I did border crossings, or if I knew I was going to want, a longer stretch with that camera. Next, got my Insta360 X3, no, X3, I'm sorry, Insta360 Go 3S. That's what that's called. Action camera here, facing back at me to give me that view of me, because if you never see the person that's talking, it's kind of disembodied, and it just doesn't quite work well. So I wanted to have that angle running to see me. Okay? That camera was great because I used it not only for this angle, but then when I got off the bike, I always had this, it comes with this kind of magnetic necklace, basically, that you wear under your shirt. So I could just pop it out of the holder there, pop it on my shirt when I got off the bike, if I was going to talk to people or get gas or whatever, and then I had it with me and had that angle. Now, this just sticks in here magnetically. So look, I can pop it out. Here's the base for it over here. That's got a screen on it that I can flip up, and that's how it charges. And then it's very easy for me to pop it out, put it back up here as need be. So that's the Insta360 Go 3S. Camera number 3 is right here on my chin. That's my GoPro Hero 12, and it's mounted in the Media Mod frame here. And what that allows me to do is plug in an external microphone, because the only way to get good sound is a good, high-quality external mic. So I've got a Rode microphone inside, kind of in the chin of my motorcycle helmet. It's got a dead cat on it, a fuzzy thing that cuts the wind noise. And it allows me to sound like I'm just sitting there whispering in your ear. Makes a huge difference. Here's a closer shot of my chin mount set up. So I've got a permanently attached GoPro mount here, and then I can take this part on and off. And of course, if I want to change the battery or anything, I've got to unscrew this. And if you look, so I've got right here is the plug for the microphone. And let's see if I can show you. I don't think I can quite show you in there, but here's my microphone. So it's a Rode lavalier
It's in a dead cat. That's what really cuts the wind noise. And then it's taped all the way up front, just in the chin. Basically kind of right behind where this mount is. It's taped on the inside. And that keeps it out of the wind and gets that really nice sound.
The thing you got to be careful of is with the media mod on, this is not fully waterproof. So in a sprinkle it's fine, but if it starts really dumping rain, it could short out and fry the camera and the mod. So you don't want to do that. When I got caught in heavy rain, I would take it off and put the Go 3S in a different mount on my helmet. That worked well. Or if I had brought the battery door, I could have taken the media mod off and used the GoPro on the chin. I just had forgotten to do that, so I didn't have it with me. So those are the three main mounts. I also have a kind of a pole if I want to get a wider shot, kind of that third person shot with the 360 camera. I can do that. This mount with two clamps, kind of balled clamps, and then a monopod type of thing. That I used in different parts, different ways on the bike, and then extended out, and that's how you get that 360 view where you see, or not 360 view, but you get that view, third person kind of, where it's backed off and you see the whole bike and the rider. Let me mention a few things. So with the multiple cameras, what I would then do, because this one is the one that has the good audio, when I'm editing, I sync these cameras up so I can use the audio from this no matter which video I'm using. That's what makes it really compelling. Now, one of the keys to doing that, the software is what's going to sync it up, but one of the keys to make it your life easier, which I just learned, I kind of screwed this up, so that the files, you know, they tell what time they were recorded, but these cameras don't hold a really good time. Like, it doesn't stay very good. What I'm trying to say is the time drifts, and it drifts differently on different cameras. So over time, files recorded at the same time will show a different creation time. That was worse because one or two of them like updated to the central time zone, and other ones stayed on the eastern time zone, so then they were more than an hour apart, and I had to go searching for files to try and match them up. That was a real pain in my butt. To get around that, next time I do this, every probably 2 days in the morning, I'll just connect the phones to the apps on the iPhone, and that will update the time on them. That will be a huge difference. I mentioned that the 360 ran pretty much continuously, but only recorded when I hit the button. These two cameras I used kind of sparingly. Like when I knew I wanted something, I'd run these. If you try and run these the whole time, you're gonna have so much footage, so many files, that you're never ever going to be able to wade through them all. I mean, they'd be full. Your memory cards would be full, and it would take you months to get through the video files. So all these cameras are set up with one button recording. That means if the camera's off, you just hit the record button and it turns the camera on and starts recording, and then when you hit the button to stop recording, it shuts the camera down. That's important to save your battery, because that is a problem, having enough juice to run the cameras for an all-day ride. Let me also mention how I set the cameras up. They are set to a log or a flat color profile, which gives you more dynamic range, gives you better shadows, better highlights when you go work on the files. Now, that does require you to do a little bit more post-production work to adjust those colors and the contrast and things when you're doing the final edit, but that really, if you know what you're doing, it only takes a couple of minutes.
A last bit of advice is don't forget to clean your lenses every morning, or even when you stop for gas, because they will get bugs on them and that screws up the video. Get your bike decked out with some cameras, start a moto vlog, and get out there and ride.